Hello friends, this is Rudolf of Germany speaking. This is chapter 29 of my educational videos concerning the tall, white alien race and humankind. The first original 29th chapter had to be taken off because of technical reasons. It was our first try of subliminal and telepathic information transfer from us to you, the listener. Shortly before we get into the subject deeper, I would like to give out my email address, which might be interesting to the one or the other female for interbreeding with the tall white race, for the ladies who would like to participate in creating the future leaders of this planet. It is Rudolf of Germany at gmail.com. Rudolf with F, all small letters, one word. Now we come to an experiment which has been not conducted in this form on this planet to a broad audience before. I will, in the next videos, touch several different subjects of interest to you. Simultaneously, I will use telepathic means to enter your mind and subliminally give you information which might widen your horizon, which might be of benefit to you. It is necessary, obviously, that your mind is open, that your mind is very sensitive and spiritually inclined. Normally, the average human being whose mind is confused and emotionally imbalanced has no chance to get any message at all. And if any message is received, it will be discarded and not understood in its importance and put into the right channels which are necessary to have any benefit of it. Who believes that he is not interested in this experiment has to turn off this video now, as well as any video until I stop the experiment. So please, only the people who believe are mentally sensitive and spiritually inclined enough might stay on and continue. From this moment on, the experiment starts now. I will tell you something of general nature, and simultaneously you will receive information which will be stored in your subconscious. Maybe at night, while you are in the sleep phase, you will open this information and contact me, or you're going to be led into spheres which you have not reached so far. So, I want to speak shortly about something which might be interesting you. About 12 years ago, we started an experiment of a new weapon. This weapon would eliminate big groups of life forms, all at the same time, silently, without the destruction of the outer fiber of the body or destruction of buildings and other structures. These experiments included 2 different animal species. One were fish. There were incidents reported, you might recall, that very large schools of fish were dying all at the same time and were swept onto shore, and nobody could explain why. The same thing happened also with large amount of birds who all fell unexplainably at the same time dead onto the ground in different countries at different times. This has been an experiment how to clean out whole cities, eventually whole countries, of masses of different life forms, including humankind, without any further damage to the environment. This weapon is based on energy waves, also on magnetic forces in combination. This experiment went on for several months and is almost forgotten as of today. In the future, there will be no conventional war anymore, because we can select specific groups of people, animals and plants, and get rid of them as necessary. I want to tell you that I personally are against this kind of conduct, this kind of operations. I am anyway speaking to you out of compassion for humankind. All the information I'm giving you are given for your education and possible prevention of mistakes being made by my kind and other alien species. I know that I have many interest groups against me, but I think it's worth to enlighten humankind about the situation they're living in. There is another weapon which has been developed and ingeniously given into the hand of almost all human beings. This is the smartphone. It's not a weapon like you imagine somebody aims at you. No, it is a weapon which is given in your own hand for self-destruction. It is not that a cell phone is made for you to communicate with others. Cell phones are created to communicate to us, communicate with you. First of all, as you all know, we always know where you are, we always know who you speak to, we know how you spend your money, and lately there have been apps added for your health check, and we also know about your physical and mental state. But what you don't know about this weapon you have in the hand, which is directed against you, and you even have paid for it, what you don't know is that the cell phone you're carrying with you, and there are about 7 billion cell phones on Earth right now, about the same amount as humans on this planet living at this moment. What you don't know is that the radiation level of cell phones can be 100,000 times increased. That means the cell phone you have now gives us all the information we need about you. By the way, you can use it also to call people, send messages, and so on. But what you have in your hand is a potential weapon directed against you. And the moment we look into the record and we see which human being is undesired or undesirable, or whole groups of them, for these specific people, we can increase radiation 1,000-fold. And this increase of radiation will kill you in a matter of very few hours. So, this is a very important information on the oral level, which I gave you now. 2 different forms of warfare against humankind, which has been put in place. And at the same time, you have gotten from me subliminal and telepathic information right now, which is being observed from the subconscious only, and it's being deeply implanted in you, and it might help you to see things clearer, because this is the only reason I give you this information. Over time it will get increased and you feel, hopefully, a positive difference. This was the first video which included subliminal and telepathic energies